in these views, you want to filter the way that you're viewing your information. And right now, as you can see on the screen, it's very dirty. It's not very clean. I can't really read it. There's a lot of information on the screen that could possibly be irrelevant to me looking at it. First of all, on the right-hand side here is you have these records per page. We only have 6 records in the system at the moment for testing purposes, but you may want to set that to 100 records per page. It's a bit easier to kind of look at, and it's less pages to cycle through if you're looking for something in particular. So to create this specific grid view a little bit neater, we need to select on the add columns at the top here. And by clicking on that, this little drop down comes down, and we can basically say in here, we're not interested in description. We don't care about their phone number, but we do care about their mobile. So mobile's up there, which is great. Their full name is there, which is brilliant. And also the client name, which is the company they work for. So what we want to do is we want to see client name first, then we want to see who they are, then we want to know what their mobile number is straight after that. The contact owner is the record owner of the user or the employee using the system. So we probably usually don't care about that either, so we can get rid of that. We would like to see if their email is in the system, and if we want to obviously click on it really quickly and send them an email, it'll display it on this grid form, and that's in a great spot. However, we also would like to see what their interests are and what state they live in. Okay, and as we can do, we can just click that, and we can also drag and obviously move these around. We click save here. This will now make this screen look a lot more prettier and nicer, as you can see. Now, let's say, for instance, we want to filter these contacts in the system for an email marketing campaign. And so this is really handy. So on the left-hand side here, we have this Create View button. And if you don't have this and you can't see the filtering, you've got this little grey box on the right-hand side here, and this will just pop out to do any kind of filtering that you need to do for a quick search. Like you're looking for a client in particular from a state, and they happen to be SA based. Press enter, done. It's found everyone who the state is in SA. You can filter by contacts quite easy. Sometimes it's quite relevant for you to do this, and in most cases it possibly isn't. Just press the clear button and it'll return back to normal. In most instances, you'll probably have this folded away, as it won't really be a requirement every single day. When we want to filter by state for South Australia and New South Wales to do a marketing campaign to them, we need to click on this button at the top here that says All Contacts. And this is very interesting because all contacts, there's a little grey star there, and you may need to click on this so that way it's a favourite. And that way it's segmented. And you also might want to know that if you accidentally select on mailing labels or something like that, and you're not seeing this view very well and it looks a bit awkward, always come back to this and make sure that you're selected on all contacts. This is one of the biggest confusing things that users find with Zoho, is if they get lost and they can't find the information on the screen that they're used to. It's possibly because of this view list here has been selected on something else. And it's just not showing any records in the system. So always revert back to this. So let's go ahead and create a custom view, because you want to not only potentially see what contacts you've got in that custom view, but you also want to send them an email later on down the track using the campaigns module. Select on Create View. I'm going to call this one, just for now, we're just going to call this one New South Wales. Oops. And SA. And the criteria is going to be that the state is SA. And the state is New South Wales. And in this instance, the state is SA or the state is New South Wales. Now, just take a note of this and or. So in this instance, if I was to say the state is SA and the state is New South Wales, what it's going to do is basically find every record in the system and be like, well, SA's there, but they also don't have New South Wales, so it won't find anyone. So you need to change this to an or, because it's basically like saying, well, if the state is SA, or the state is New South Wales and I want to add them to the system. So you've just got to get your head around this filtering logic here. So in this instance here, we want to be able to see what kind of a view we're going to be looking at here. And to be honest, this is kind of irrelevant for now because we can go back in and do it afterwards. But basically, this is what we want to see. And do we want to share this custom view with all of your staff in the organization? Most of the time, you're probably not going to. It's probably just going to be required for yourself or maybe for one other user who needs to do email marketing campaigns. So you can obviously select from that. Click on the Save button. And now we are selected on this drop-down menu, and it's created by me, New South Wales and SA. Okay, and it's found all these people. Now you can see here that the view is also slightly different. So once again, we select on the add columns at the top. We want their first name and last name, which is brilliant, their phone number and their email address, which is correct. But we do just want to double check that everyone is from the South Australian state and what their interests are. Cool. So you can see here that the New South Wales and SA state has been filtered correctly, and currently there are no interests under these users. If we want to go back and look at everyone else or make this a favorite, we can select the star next to their name there. And we also want to star the all contacts, obviously. So now we've got those two up there, and now we can kind of filter based on the information that we have, the criteria that we've set for the system. And that is all you need to do. I will later on go into the campaigns module in another video. And now that you've got the created view here called New South Wales and SA, you will actually see this in the campaigns module for adding in a list.